Now, I thought I knew much about chess. I thought I'd seen it all in terms of chess tricks, traps, and gambits until I came across a very dangerous queen sack in the Scandinavian Defense, which you can try out against Scandinavian players. And well, if you are a beginner or an intermediate level player, well, I suggest that you watch up to the end, because I'm gonna reveal to you one big secret of how strong players apply their gambit ideas, tricks, and traps in normal classical games. And so this is going to be a very interesting video. Just don't skip, so stay tuned. Okay, so the first game that we are looking at is one that was played between a very strong player, Esteban Canal, in the year 1934 in Budapest against some unknown chess player, because this was a simultaneous match. So white started with pawn to e4 and d5 by black. Now I know that in my previous videos I preached about the knight f3 stuff, which is the Zuckertut opening leading to the Tennyson gambit, and that is knight f3, pawn takes on e4, then knight g5. But we're not going to talk about this in this video. In fact, I do not recommend playing gambits in classical matches. Am I saying gambits are not important? No. What we learn from gambits are ideas and tricks to employ in certain positional games. Anyways, after pawn to d5, the right continuation here, which I recommend, is e takes d5, and queen takes d5 is by far the most played move in the Masters Database and in the Lichess Database. So here you just continue with knight c3 attacking the queen, and after queen f5, which again is the top played move, as you have seen by the highlighted arrows, pawn to b4 from here leads to the Leonard gambit. I also covered this gambit in the video that has popped up in the card above, but again we are playing a normal game here, and so I just recommend you go pawn to d4. You see your opponents playing pawn to c6, which is the second top played move in the Masters Database and in the Lichess Database. The whole idea of c6 is just to pave way for the black queen in case of any danger, and here I just want you guys to be, and here the normal way of playing against the Scandinavian Defense is just to develop the king's knight to f3. Most of my students know that I do preach about this opening principle all the time, at least in all my courses, where I advise my students to develop their knights first before the bishops. And so after knight f3, you're going to see them playing bishop g4, just making use of the pin, because that's what they were taught how to play. And you can see that in the Scandinavian Defense, black develops his queenside pieces very fast as compared to his kingside pieces, which is why you will see them most of the times castling long and not castling short. Anyways, after bishop g4 pinning your knight to the queen, I recommend you don't even attend to this pin right here because it is temporal. Just go ahead and develop your dark squared bishop to f4, or why starting with the dark squared bishop instead of the light squared bishop? Well, what I want you guys to be doing against the Scandinavian is that I want you to be castling long most of the time, since black also castles long in most of these games. And so that's why we want to start developing the queenside pieces first before we touch anything from the king side. Well, of course, apart from the knight on f3. So black plays pawn to e6, and theory here says play pawn to h3. Yes, bishop e2 is also playable, but pawn to h3 is more forcing before developing the light squared bishop. Why? Let me show you why. Because here we are anticipating the move bishop h5, which allows us to start attacking from the king side right away, taking advantage of this bishop on h5, and after bishop g6 we keep on marching forward, h4 intending to go h5. By the way, in this position we do not have any threats coming to the queen side, and this is where we are also intending to castle long. Not to mention that if black plays bishop a3, which is an engine move, and I don't think anyone is gonna play that against you. Yeah, but we have bishop c1 and the problem is solved, and we'll continue marching, advancing our pawns on the king side. So you're not going to see this move. This is an engine move. I just wanted to cover that just in case. But anyways, you just played pawn to h4, intending to go h5. You will see black responding with pawn to h6, creating a space for the light squared bishop. And this is where we play knight e5, attacking the light squared bishop once again. If black allows, we'll take this light squared bishop and mess up black's pawn structure on the king side. So they'll play bishop h7, and here we play knight c4, attacking the black queen. In case you are wondering, position is about +2 in favor of white, which is suffice to win the game. Oh, the queen only has one safe square, which is d8. For example, if they play queen a6, we have knight d6 check, and at the same time a discovery on the black queen. Therefore, that's why we play pawn to h3 before developing the light squared bishop in order to reach a position such as this one. Hence, to avoid this deadly attack, you will see most advanced players playing bishop takes f3 on move number 7 instead of bishop h5. Let me just show you. So we just developed our second knight just like I advised, and black took advantage of that. Then instead of unblocking the pin, we decided to develop the dark squared bishop because we have plans to quickly castle long. Then black played e6, and instead of again unpinning our knight, we decided to play pawn to h3, and we just noticed how bad bishop h5 is, which is a positional mistake at master level, and that's why you're going to see most of your advanced opponents playing bishop takes on f3, which is what we want. And after this, I just recommend you just take back with your queen. And it's good to mention again that black won't castle short in most of these games because of the upcoming pawn storm that we have. We're gonna develop our bishop on d3, castle long, life goes on, no pressure. Ah, Casper, we've been waiting for that queen trap which you spoke about in the intro. Yeah, I know, but I needed to lay a foundation for you guys so that you know how strong players build their attacks. And so chill out. Here you will see most of your black opponents playing bishop b4, taking advantage of another pin. I mean, that's what they were taught. So here I just recommend you don't attend to this pin again. Just play bishop e2 so you can see what we are doing here. We are not even attending to any of these pins. By the way, bishop e2 gives us an option to either castle short or castle long. So knight d7, preparing to castle long. Here I just recommend that you don't even castle. So that's another secret I'm telling you in the Scandinavian defense. Precisely in this line, don't castle. Just play pawn to a3 just like the way you did here. Or after pawn to a3, black is not scared of this pawn because he knows that this pawn is pinned to the rook. E.g., black knows that if you take his bishop, he will take your free rook on a1, which is why they are not even going to do anything about this bishop. You are going to see them castle long, and this is where this epic trap begins. Because right here, you will do the unexpected a takes b4, completely giving up your rook on a1, because after queen takes on a1 check, you simply go king d2, indirectly attacking the black queen. For example, after queen takes h1, this is where white uncocked an evil move that almost made my eyes to pop out from the sockets. And so I give you 3 seconds to find the killer move in this position, which ended the game on the spot. Let's go. Okay, 1, 2, 3, here we go. I guess you found this move. Queen takes on c6, and it turned out that the black king cannot escape because the b8 square is also covered by our dark squared bishop. The only option is for black to take our queen, and that's how we met on a6 checkmate. When last did you see such a thing happen in chess? You know, chess is so dynamic. This is why I keep on telling my students that chess is not a game. You guys, chess is an art which must involve a lot of creativity in order to stand out. Chess is an art where the best artist has to draw a better picture in order to beat the rest. And so I have so much lovely ideas to offer in my courses. You can check the link for my website in the description down below where you can purchase all my courses at very affordable prices. Not to mention that if at all you are enjoying this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. Don't just watch, and remember to subscribe to my channel because that encourages me to keep on making more wonderful content just like this one. Now let me show you another game with black pieces where this same trap occurred, just to let you know how strong players recall these positions in different ways. Okay, so the game that we're looking at is one that was played between Samuel S. Borden versus Schroeder, played in the 1860s, but very instructive. White started with pawn to e4, black responded with e5, knight f3, d6, the Filido defense. By the way, after pawn to d6, d4 is the most played move according to the Lichess database and the Masters database. Sometimes you see white playing bishop c4, which is the second most played move, knight c3, the third most played move, and pawn to c3, which was actually played in this game, and which is the fourth most played move. Well, there's nothing wrong with this move. Just preparing to go d4 next and still have 2 center pawns. Realizing this, black played pawn to f5. The idea is that after bishop c4, black wanted to play knight f6, but f takes e4 was the best move anyways. And please note that if knight g5, black was going to play pawn to d5 and life goes on. d4 was played by white, f takes e4, d takes e5, and now it's a battle of who is going to win the knight first, and it was black who won the battle first, forcing white to double up his pawns, and at the same time signifying that white wanted to castle long in the long term. While still there's a game, knight c6, simply developing the knight first before the bishops, very important opening principle. Pawn to f4, creating a space for the queen maybe to come on f3, bishop d7, preparing to castle long, bishop e3, just simply developing the bishop, castle long, knight d2. I mean, all these moves are just preparing white to castle long, because after rook e8, we saw queen f3, again white just wants to castle long. So he's just developing his pieces on the most active squares. At least that's what he thought. But anyways, black here played bishop f5, and I'm sure you can already see where this is leading. Ladies and gentlemen, here is one big secret how strong players play chess. You as a beginner or an intermediate level player like memorizing moves and move order sequences, but advanced players only memorize structures and positions. Please keep this in mind. It's not about the move orders, it's not about the specific moves or how to play the middle game. Strong players just memorize structures. So here I guess black already knew what he wanted to see, because after white castled long, here position is already about negative 7.8 in favor of black. And so I would love you to pause this video and try to find the best continuation for black, which again almost ended the game instantly. The time starts now. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I hope you found this move, pawn to d5, which is a killer move by the way. It looks very simple, but just to tell you what is happening here, the light squared bishop is dead. White must play something like rook e1, otherwise none of these highlighted moves are working or will save the bishop. For example, like what happened in the game, bishop takes on d5, and here black uncocked an evil move just like what we saw in the Scandinavian Defense. Queen takes on c3, and white cannot go king b1 because this square is covered by our light squared bishop, and so the only move is for white to take our queen on c3, after which we play bishop a3 and the whole kingdom of Babylon fails. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, chess is not a game, it is an art. If at all you want to learn more stuff about these kinds of tricks, please be sure to follow me on Patreon. The link for my Patreon page is in the description down below, where I post exclusive content, extra materials, and other premium videos that can help you improve your game very fast. There you can also find my courses, just like on my website, and please, you can give it a try. You'll thank me later as I thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned some new ideas. So until next time, bye bye.